Hi Aries, my name is Audrey Alison, and this is your February forecast for the month, and I'm happy to be here again. Thank you so much for subscribing and tuning in. I want to get into it. Okay, Venus just went direct yesterday on the 31st, but I'm actually recording these a little early, so I'm saying yesterday as if this were February 1st. Okay, Venus is now direct, and this is in Venus is in Capricorn right now, so Capricorn for you, Aries, is your 10th house of career. So if you're finding that things have been a little bit slow on the work front or the career front, don't fret, because effective February 1st, this might pick up, because Venus, the planet of money and love, is now direct in this sector for you. So your finances and your work, you might have a more loving approach to your career and your status, and you might have more money and opportunity now that Venus is direct, and that is again on the 31st of January. And also on the 31st of January, Mercury is going into Pisces. So Mercury, the planet of communication and local travel and computers and technology and thinking and writing and active mental thoughts and agility. Mercury is now going into Pisces. Pisces is your 12th house, Aries, of your psychic ability and your quiet spirituality, your inner self, your inner reflection. This could mean that you are wanting to communicate about spiritual realms or the afterlife. Could also mean that you are more reserved in that area, a little more quiet in that 12th house, and that is also effective February 1st. So we had that action that I wanted to start out with. But this month we do have Mercury that went into Pisces. Mercury will be retrograde February 6th through the 12th in Pisces, in that 12th house. But then on the 12th, it retrogrades backwards into the sign of Aquarius, which is your 11th house of groups and organizations and friendships and your dreams and your hopes and your wishes. So with Mercury retrograde in that area, you might not want to communicate your thoughts or your feelings regarding your friendships or perhaps your dreams. They could be very secretive at this time. Mercury will kind of shut down since it slows up in the sky, like we've discussed previously, 3 times a year. You might want to be a little more reserved to the people you're speaking with regarding any dreams that you want to manifest or come true. It's better to keep things to yourself. Okay, so yeah, Mercury retrograde will simmer you down some, Aries, and I know you're a very feisty sign, so that might feel a little awkward, but just go with it, because it is retrograde totally from the 6th of February through the 28th. So almost the entire month of February, the remaining 3 weeks, in your 11th and 12th sectors, it will be influenced. This is lovely, on Valentine's Day, February 14th, there is a full moon, 26 degrees Leo, and this is your 5th house of fun. What better full moon to have that in for you, Aries? Okay, the 5th house can govern romance on Valentine's Day in that area, I think that's a longer weekend too. Oh yeah, and the 17th will be that Monday, will be the President's Day. You'll just have a very long romantic weekend, and if you're not in a relationship, you could have a lot of fun and find very creative. 5th house is creativity. It's also sports and leisure and pleasure. You're going to have fun that Valentine's Day weekend anyway, but 2.5 days prior to the full moon and through like the 17th, 18th, that strong area will be influenced in the 5th house. But that full moon generates the activity of your 5th house for the 28-day lunar period. So I love that for you. 5th house is where it's at. It's one of my favorite houses. Now, there is a shift. You'll notice the last couple months, since maybe October, since I've started these forecasts, we've always initially started the month with a new moon transiting 2 weeks later into full. But since we're having this double new moon in January, we're having 2 super moons, super new moons in January, it switches the cycle up so that now, effective February, we're starting the month with full moons graduating to new moons. So the moon will be waxing, will be waning, full to new, in the month of February. So this could switch up your, if you're female, this could switch up your cycles, your hormones. You might catch up to a new speed on that level. But it's interesting because I noticed the flip when I was looking through the lunar phases. So now we're going full moon, the beginning of the month, to new moon. Now on February 18th, the sun is heading into Pisces. So happy birthday to Pisces out there. But if you're watching this due to Aries being your rising sign, for example, Pisces transiting into, sun transiting into Pisces for you, Aries, would be your 12th house sector again, this very quiet, spiritual, psychic sector. Pisces governs the 12th house, and this is very creative house too. So if you're into music, if you're into expressing yourself through writing or acting or even dance, very creative, or even sewing and makeup and things that you can use to wear and express yourself would be good for you starting on the 18th going forward in February. Now, after that transit of the sun going into Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac until we start fresh in March with Aries, we have some of these squares happening still. And there are a lot of tense energy specific. We have the Uranus-Pluto square that's been happening for quite some time and will continue to be squaring until at least 2015. But we also have on the 25th of February, I found this kind of interesting, Pluto, which is right now in Capricorn, is sextiling Chiron, the wounded healer, the planet of healing. And that's the asteroid, sorry, of healing, but some people consider it a planet. It's an asteroid, Chiron. But Capricorn for you, again, Aries, is your 10th house, and this sextile, this very positive aspect, a sextile is extremely beneficial and bounces and plays off of the sign it's sextiling, Capricorn and Pisces, because Chiron is also stationed in Pisces in that 12th house again. You have a lot of 12th house activity, spiritual, psychic, quiet activity, creative, self-expression. Between your 10th and your 12th house, that sextile is activating. And I think you could get a lot accomplished in the second half of the month internally, and then get ready to be proactive with that effective March when Mercury is direct, because that will be beneficial to you. And Aries, you still have Uranus in your sign, planet of rebellion and quick sudden changes. And this is in your first house. So you could find that you have been approached or have sudden, actually magical interactions with ideas and people, and sudden invites and quick changes in events. You think you're on one road 1 second, that's Uranus. Uranus will be like, guess what? Boop, you're going on this road for a minute, and you're going to do it like a rebel without a cause. So it's an exciting time for you. It's an exciting month for you, Aries. I want to pull a few cards for you. I almost forgot about the tarot aspect of this. I got so into the astrology. But let me pull a few cards for you regarding the month of February, and we'll see what comes up. Five of Wands. We've already had this in a few readings. I don't know if it was particularly for you, Aries, but this is an extremely creative card. It's the creative energy card. You could literally be hands-on, things manifesting through this hand of energy, and it's a fire card, which you are, Aries. Writing, sewing, cooking, making, manifesting through the fingertips is extremely important, and it could be that 12th house again that you have activated with the creative realm. Also, the 5th house is creativity that you have the full moon in Leo in, which is also a fire sign, so it's a compatible energy for you, Aries. Also, I'm getting the 3 of Cups, which is the support of your female friends, whether you're a man or a female. This will, the energy of friends and support and groups. Oh, and this could actually be the 11th house, that friends, friendships, groups, and organizations. This is the support card. And you had that 11th house activated. Where was that, Aries? Oh, it's when Mercury retrogrades, the second half of its retrograde into Aquarius. Aquarius for you, Aries, is your 11th house of friendship. So you might notice that you have the people around you reaching out with your 11th and 5th house, but it's Mercury retrograde, so you might not be communicating that well with them or that great. You might want to watch every word you're choosing when it comes to your friendships. And it would not be the right time to get things on the table if you have some beef with any friendships. It's not the right time to discuss that. You might want to let energies dissipate naturally with that area. Also, it's a really good time. This doesn't really apply astrologically, but I'm pulling it on the tarot deck, and it's the Four of Coins, which would be a great time to save as much money as you can this month, even if it's $5 a week. People send me a lot of messages suggesting, when I talk about finances or money, you know, nothing happened, you know, I couldn't save money. I mean, I didn't have that extra $1,000 and things like of drastic nature. I mean, everyone's money varies, but if you can show and prove to the universe that you are capable of saving just a couple of dollars, you'll be surprised at what could occur if you heed the advice of the cards. The Four of Coins could also mean getting your possessions in alignment. If you have that garage sale that you wanted to get done, but you've been putting it off because it's a pain in the ass, this is the month to kind of focus on that and then implement it in March. You can get a lot of organization done in February, Aries. So my name is Audrey Allison, and this has been your forecast for February 2014. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you'd like a private reading with me, which I do all through the week, you can find me at Audrey Allison, Astrology and Tarot on Facebook, but I'm also at www.audreyallison.com, and you can book appointments with me there. Thanks again, Aries, and I hope you have a beautiful day. See you later. Bye.